Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Divine Diva, where my guest for today is Laura. So, hi, Laura, welcome.
Hi, Suzanne. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. And I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for having me. So my name is Laura Loop. I am a empowerment coach and personal power coach. I work with spiritual beings who know they're here for more than just the average automatic 9 to 5 lives. I am here to awaken your power. And what I do with my clients is one thing, it's the personal power work, and another piece of it is that I'm super, super psychic. So I can help you really tune into what is your soul here to do. And then the power piece comes in to support your human. So what I'm doing is that I'm actually the one that connects all the dots and make sure that you're always anchored in your power. So when the human is wobbling and life is
Mhm.
lifing and fear and self-doubt and all the jazz comes up, we still get to stay on the path of the aligned life that is what you desire. Whether
Mhm.
that's as a business owner or as a corporate genius, I don't care. I just want you to be happy.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much what I'm doing with my clients.
Oh, sounds amazing. And I would love to know, in your view, what qualities does a divine diva have?
Oh, a divine diva. Ah, that's a great question. I think for me, a divine diva is someone who is grounded in themselves on the human realm in order to be able to connect to the spiritual realm. Someone who is able to go up in the 5D realm and then recreate it into the 3D life we have. Because it's super easy to be like divinely in your meditative state, all at home and
Mhm.
everything's glorious, and then you spend a week with your family and you're not so divine anymore, you know?
Exactly.
So like it's a merging of the two. Like it's the taking the magic from the spiritual realm and then putting it down to good use here on earth. And that's how we move through life. It's like I have one step for me and then I'm divinely guided with one step. And that's how we move through life. We
Mm.
listen to the nudge, we do the things that doesn't make sense in order to trust. Like it's a life based on trust in you to be able to handle whatever may come, and to the spirit, divine, God, Jesus, whatever you call them up there,
Mm.
that merge for me.
And sometimes it can be difficult, especially when you are so you feel so connected to that 5D that you tend to get lost a bit in it. And that's the essence of, connecting and grounding yourself in the
Mm.
3D because that is your reality, of course. So, do you have any like sacred rituals that you have to like ground yourself and your energy in this 3D?
That's such a great question. It's some of the things I do the most with my clients. Like I'm pulling them back down to earth because I have so
Right.
many clients who are like super, super spiritual,
Right.
who speaks to God and who are doing like psychic work. So I'm like, I'm pulling them down like a
Hmm.
balloon.
Yeah.
Okay, what rituals do I have for that? Like anchoring into the body, being connected to the body is, of course, the main thing. You need to be able to be here with your physical body.
Right.
And that could be anything from, light tapping on your body. For me, I love personally to use EFT tappings.
Mhm.
That really supports me. I scream a lot, like a lot, a
Oh,
lot. I scream
oh,
all to have my throat
wonderful.
chakra activated and
Right.
to stay anchored in my body. So really having that super vocal experience in the body
Hmm.
is
And you're
really.
still friends with your neighbors as well?
I am. Yeah, we hang out all
Good.
the time, actually. I'm really good friends with my neighbors. And I live in an apartment building. So I can say how I scream at home to not
Mhm.
annoy with neighbors is I put both hands on top of each other and then I put them over my mouth. And then I stand up like a little, I bend my knees and I pop out my hips. So I have this little L shape
Mhm.
almost. And then I scream while my hands cover my mouth because that takes away the noise. And
Right.
I scream from my pelvic floor. I don't scream from my throat because then you're just super sore. I scream
Right.
from my pelvic floor as I move my hips to make sure that nothing is stuck in the hips.
Mm,
So
that's a
that's
good
how
one.
I scream on a daily basis, which I highly recommend, y'all. It feels weird the first 10, 20 times you do it, but
Mhm.
it's so liberating and it changes my energy in an instinct and it takes me back to my body and activates my throat chakra. So whatever that I'm here to say, if I'm working with a client or if I'm sharing on social media or if I'm having a difficult conversation with my parents or whatever it is, I
Mhm.
get to have that energy work with me. So that's definitely one of the things that
Mm.
really works well, getting into the physical body. Because what I often see can be a hindrance is super spiritual people have a tendency to just go inward and meditate, and then like you're not really here.
Right.
Because often when we meditate, we leave this
This vessel. Yeah.
and then we go up there, which definitely has its advantages. It's awesome, and I recommend doing it, but it needs to be balanced with an
Mm.
embodied practice, whether that's screaming or yoga or dancing or kickboxing or running or whatever works for you,
Yeah.
but something where you feel and you notice your body as you are doing it.
And I find it also very empowering to work with your body, especially as a woman, because we are also very like negatively spoken about when it comes to our body, and we tend to have that mindset or like this negative pattern in our mind that is connected to our body, like it should be skinnier, healthier, tighter, whatever it is, and to find that pure connection to your body in whichever way suits you. I think it's really essential to become your divine diva, basically.
It is. It's absolutely like making peace with your body. You don't like in the beginning of this work, maybe you like me have super many body issues because like is exactly as you say, women are
Mm.
being told wrong all the time. We cannot do women in the right way. So
Mm.
if you, like me, have had so many things about your body, it's so important to come back in and to learn to be okay in your body. You don't need to love it in the first moment, like that's
Yeah.
utopia. But you get to come in and appreciate it and
Yeah.
respect it for what it does and connect to it from what it does. Like I can love my arms because they made me able to hold my baby knees.
Mm.
Like one of
Right.
those things,
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think because for me, it was a personal, almost like a challenge to contradict the things I was saying about my body. So I was saying like, oh, I'm physically weak because that was what I saw when I went to like uh, PE in high school. You know, I was always like the slowest one and not the strongest one. So I always told myself, oh, my body is physically weak, and that's why I had this anxiety disorder because I'm not strong enough to actually hold this. And I challenged it, and I went to the gym and I took dance lessons and I got muscle mass, and I was like, okay, I'm actually quite strong. So I find fun in that challenge where I'm so like, okay, I'm actually challenging what my mind is saying about me.
exactly. And we also get to ask, I do this all the time. Whenever I feel bad about something, I ask, who benefits from me feeling this way?
Right.
So,
Mm.
like, who benefits from me not loving my body?
Oh my gosh, yes.
The diet industry, the fashion industry, the beauty industry. Like,
Yeah,
who benefits? Who makes money off of me feeling this way?
exactly. It's a whole marketing scheme.
It is exactly
Mhm.
that. Plus,
Yeah.
we humans, we weren't born to go around watching ourselves all the time. If we take
Mhm.
away the mirrors and we look at like the primordial human, we would maybe see our faces in the reflection in the water. And that's not even like on this Zoom call, I can see everything. Like we didn't grow up, we weren't evolved to do that. So
Mhm.
it's against our human nature to be looking and obsessing about ourselves all the time. We
Oh
would
my
only see
gosh, yeah.
pictures.
And all
So it's
these like these creams and these serums that say anti-wrinkle or anti this. I'm like, why is there nothing like pro aging? I mean, aging is awesome. Come on. When you have the privilege to age. I mean, shit,
exactly.
damn. I'm in my 40s and I've never had anything done. So I'm like, hallelujah. I get to be this age.
Exactly. I'm blessed to have small wrinkles here because it means I've laughed
Exactly.
a lot. I'm blessed to have these because it means I laugh a lot. Like, how amazing
Exactly.
is that?
Let's celebrate that instead of saying anti.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
that.
And I would love to know a bit more because, as you mentioned, you're very like you're clairvoyant and you also are an empowerment coach. So when did you realize that that was your purpose?
That's a good question. When did I realize? The clairvoyant abilities, I didn't really realize until 2022.
Mhm.
I had a friend who taught me, like, you just open this way and then you close it that way. And like, all hell broke loose, girl. It was so intense. So if you're out there and you want to learn how to use your psychic abilities, have someone teach you properly. Like have someone guide you properly. because that
Yeah.
was but my empowerment coaching, my personal power coaching, that started back in 2019. I went on the good old interwebs. I've just come home from a month in India doing my yoga teacher training. And I came home and I thought I was going to apply for like a real job after spending 3 years in health research at the university. I thought I was going to do a PhD, but then I didn't. I went to India instead. So coming back, I thought I was supposed to have a job.
Mhm.
And I just slowly started sharing my heart on Instagram. I started a new profile. I talked about yoga. I talked about journaling. I talked about numerology, which is what I originally built my business on. Um, and then I had numerology clients and I had more and more numerology clients. And after I gave them this elaborate reading, they were like, but now what? Now I want to use the things. So I was doing a little more coaching and then more coaching came in and more coaching. And then numerology is kind of like side hustle I do. If you ask me to, it's not something that I advertise that I do anymore, but it's like now it's just this personal power piece because what's so important to me is that we live a life where at the end of it, when you are on your deathbed, you can say, well lived.
Mm.
Where you can say, I did the hard things. I had the hard conversations. I was brave in this life. I lived it for me, and I don't regret anything.
Mhm.
And that's impacted even more because my volunteer job is that I sit at the bedside with dying people. I've been doing that for 6 years. So for 6 years, I've had the conversation of the regret on the actual deathbed. I have held people's hand as they died, knowing that they regretted spending too much time at work, not being with their kids, not asking the cutie out,
Mm.
not doing the thing with the business. Like, and that's such an important factor for me because I've seen it. I've
Mm.
seen hundreds of people on their deathbeds over the years. And this it's the same thing coming over and over. I wish I didn't live for someone else. I wish I would have done that. I wish I didn't have my family's idea of what I should lead my life. Like I wish I would have just lived my life. So
Mm.
where the passion really is for me, for you to
Right.
live your life.
Right.
And I couldn't give a rat's ass if you want to have a life where you live as an entrepreneur, having a seven-figure empire, great. Or if you want to have a little boutique, great. Or if you want to sit in the cashier in your local supermarket,
Mhm.
great. I
Or have
don't
a
care.
tiny house in the woods. That's fine too.
I don't care what you do. I care about
Right.
you being happy and that when you leave this earth, you can say, well lived.
Mm. It's all about that fulfillment and making
Exactly.
choices that come from your heart. Because what I hear you say is that all these people, they, like you said, they lived for someone else's expectations instead of listening to their own desires and wants and needs.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay.
And in your clairvoyance, in your journey of discovering that, what are some of the biggest lessons and maybe even like divine downloads that you have received?
Yes, I get so many freaking downloads all the time.
Like, can
Um,
you be quiet?
Yeah, like they're there all the time, mate. They're always there, but I love it. So for me, what I really have learned is that I'm never alone.
Mhm.
So if I ever feel lonely, I get to just tune in with spirit. I get to just be held by source.
Mhm.
I'm never lonely anymore because I always have someone, something,
Right.
a divine deity connected to me. And having that makes it easier to go through the tough times in life because as every human, I've had really tough times.
Mhm.
As I'm navigating those, I call them points of power in your timeline. So
Mhm.
as I'm navigating the points of power in my timeline, I know that I might be the only human doing this work, but I'm
Mhm.
not the only spirit doing this work. And we are spirits taking form as humans in this time round on this earth.
Mhm.
So I'm just a spirit having a human experience. That means there's so many other spirits around me and I'm never lonely.
Mhm.
And so it gave me a sense of safety and a sense of security. And it's easier to go through whatever it is that I'm going through because I know that I'm always co-creating this life with spirit. And sometimes, how I explain it is that It's like your life is a book and you are the co-author with the universe. And
Mhm.
for some of the chapters, you'll be over here, you'll be writing the chapter, you just know exactly what's going to happen. It's such a good chapter because you know, and right over there on the next page, it's gonna na 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 na. It's really good. And then sometimes the universe takes over and the universe is over here like, plot twist. And you'll be sitting there like, and that's the co-creation process. But once
Right,
you know that everything is always this or something better, the
right.
universe never tells you no. It tells you yes, not yet, or something better. It never
Mhm.
tells you no. So when you know those things, it's easier to navigate the times where the universe is over here like
Right.
hitting you with a plot twist. Because
Right.
we know the plot twist is going to lead the way for something greater, something better. So if it's not this perfect man that I just dated, it's because something even more perfect is on his way. If
Oh
it's
yeah.
not this job, then an even better job. If it's not this friend, then an even better friend. If it's not
Mhm.
this house, then an even better house. It's
Yeah, and
always
I think it's also like when because I'm the same, I'm claircognizant and clairvoyant, and I can feel their presence when I need it the most, and when you feel that it's like an undescribable feeling of most pure love, and that is what helps me know like that helps me carry through those difficult times.
exactly. Exactly. You're
Mm.
never alone.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fear because even if the worst what if situation your little Shanae up in here she can make up,
Mhm.
oh you're still gonna be okay.
Yeah. And I would like to quote you because I saw a wonderful quote on your Facebook page and it said, there isn't one safe path. You choose your path and you become your own safety. And I really, really love that quote. So can you dive a bit deeper into what that means for you?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, so fun being quoted by myself. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so the thing is, so many people come to me, especially booking my like psychic sessions, saying, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do like if I'm gonna go left or right or front, back, or like I don't know if I'm gonna do this way, that way. I'm scared to make the wrong choice." And the point is, like, there is no wrong choice.
Mhm.
You cannot make a wrong choice. It does not exist.
Mhm.
You make a choice,
Right.
and then you stay anchored in your personal power, which is your safety.
Mhm.
You are your safety.
Mhm.
Your safety isn't in the job, in the partner, in the family, in spirit. Like your safety is in you,
Mhm.
knowing you got you, no
Right.
matter what.
Mm.
Knowing that no matter what happened, I'll handle that too. Basically everything I teach my client is I'll handle that too.
Mhm.
Embodied,
Right.
deeply known. So when you know you're going to handle that too, whatever it is, then there's no right or wrong path in your life. There is just paths, plural,
Mhm.
and you get to choose whichever one floats your boat on that particular day, and you will handle whatever comes that way. And if you don't like that path, you take another path.
Mhm.
You cannot make a wrong choice. And it's
But what,
too,
yeah, what if you don't feel safe because maybe you have an anxiety disorder or you have like a dysregulated nervous system or you just don't have the capacity to hold yourself in that space at that time? How do you create that safety for yourself?
that's such a good question. So, safety in yourself, I always say the first exercise I give my clients when this is what we're working with is to create a power line over your time. So, it's instead of having a timeline of your life, you create a power line of your life. So, it's a timeline, and then you dot down all the things you thought you couldn't survive, but you did.
Mhm.
So for me, my power line would be born too soon, born with a genetic disorder, so I had to have surgery, had a blood disease, had an ugly breakup by my parents, had mental health issues in close proximity to my family. I had stress when I was in high school and I got an ulcer from stress. I had a narcissistic boyfriend, had a car crash, destroyed my shoulder, which is still destroyed today. I've been evicted of sexual abuse, like all these things,
Mhm.
which is a lot, which is why I
Right.
teach personal power because I lived a lot of shit.
Mhm.
So I look at all those things and I have proof, black on white. I
Mhm.
have, oh, I survived the abuse. Oh, I survived the narcissistic ex who pulled me apart. Oh, I survived a really nasty divorce. Oh, I survived mental health issues. Oh, I survived a loved one almost committing suicide. Oh, I survived. Oh, I survived. Oh, and then all of a sudden you have literally made yourself proof
Right.
of how powerful you are.
Hmm.
That's where we start. We start by acknowledging you're already freaking fucking powerful.
Mm.
Even though your anxiety may tell you, no, you're not, blah, blah, blah. I had so much anxiety too because I
Right.
was living how you're supposed to. Like
Hmm.
when I was in uni, I was in uni doing my master's. I lived with a boyfriend who was perfect on paper. We had our own apartment, perfect on paper, had a puppy. I had 3 student jobs and like everything was good. And I
Hmm.
felt, and my anxiety was through the roof because none of the things were right.
Right.
I didn't like the neighborhood. I didn't want to have a dog, which is insane because I love dogs, but I didn't want to have a dog at the time. It was wrong, man. 3 jobs I didn't care about at all. I was so fed up with uni. Like I was fed up with everything.
Hmm.
But because I didn't do anything about it, it just killed me on the inside.
Hmm.
And I let go of everything. I literally like I broke up with him. I moved out. I quit 2 out of 3 student jobs and I finished my master's the year after. And I moved into my grandma's basement and I just started leading my life from what makes me happy.
Hmm.
And that's when I rebuild my entire life from there, that point. So if you don't feel safe yet, you start by doing your timeline of your points of power in your story. You honor that and you write from that. What did I learn? You journal on what did I learn from this? What did anxiety teach me? What
Hmm.
does abuse teach me? What does being the straight A student teach me? What does this teach me? And then you see all the lessons that's already there.
Hmm.
But we often forget them because we focus on, oh my God, it went so bad with the ex-boyfriend. I can't date anymore because men are idiots. I'm so scared of being hurt again. We look at that instead of
Hmm.
survived a car crash of a breakup. Oh
Hmm.
my God, I survived this one. Wow. Like
Right.
nothing can get that bad.
Hmm.
First of all, I learned so much from this situationship. I learned so much. I have that with me now. I survived that, which means I'm stronger. So when I'm going out to date again, I'm stronger and more equipped. I have more tools. I have more like strength in my baggage.
Hmm.
So what should I worry about anymore? You see, once
Right.
we flip that, which is
Hmm.
what I do with my clients all the time, we flip all these fear things
Right.
and again come back to then I'll handle that too.
Mm.
Like it's the most potent sentence I will ever gift you. Then I'll handle that too.
Right.
I even
Amen.
have a exactly,
I'm
exactly.
not even
Even
religious.
have a, yes, exactly. I even have a client who have it tattooed on her arm. She's like,
Wow.
handle that too. It's like, yes, and that's the thing. I'll handle that too.
Hmm. Yeah, I had a similar like technique that I called creating your own Dharma diary, where you just create sentences that start with I am and what
Mhm.
you're capable of, what you're good at, and what you have already accomplished, and really just state only positive things like I can and I am and I want, I need you, all these positive things about yourself that you can create a whole new version of you, but it's not really new version, excuse me, but like a version that already exists, but a more empowered version of yourself.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And like I have so many tools. My clients always call me like the queen of tools because I have so many tools. So it always depends on where you are.
Hmm.
But like creating that next level version of you, the one you desire to become,
Hmm.
is such an important piece as well. Like how would you want to handle these
Hmm.
situations?
Exactly.
Write the character for a movie, which is like the movie of how you want to live your life. How would that character show up when times are rough? How would that character be? How would that character talk? How would they look? How would they act? How would they respond in shitty situations? How would they, like, always
Hmm.
coming back to that. And then using them in your life. So whenever you are going to be having a difficult conversation, you would tap into uh, next level self. I don't know what you want to call her.
Hmm.
Beyonce has one called Sasha Fierce. Probably
Right.
a lot of people know that. So how would Sasha Fierce show up on stage? And I
Hmm.
remember watching Beyonce talking about that, and she was like, "I'm not sexy, but Sasha Fierce, she's a sex goddess, so she's gonna be out there." I can't do that, but Sasha Fierkins do that. So
Mm,
that's
right.
how she created that. She even made an album saying, I am Sasha Fierce, because then she
Right.
wrote that piece of, yes, I've locked that identity piece in.
Mm,
We always get to choose. We always get to de-learn the things we were taught. We always get to strip the layers of who we were supposed to be in order to become the one we want to be
mm,
in this life, the one
mm,
we are destined to be in this life, which
mm,
is very seldom the one we were taught to be
mm,
as kids.
for sure. And when is the time that you connect most to your higher self? What are the moments that you need her the most?
Mm. Oh my God, I've needed her many times. It different. It is very different depending on like what I'm doing and how far on my journey I am. In the beginning, I used her every time I would do an Instagram live because I thought that was super scary in the beginning. I was like, if I'm gonna go on a live, oh my God. And now I couldn't give a shit. Like I just go on Instagram lives all the time. So I've like embodied that. I've used her when I confronted the man who sexually abused me. I
Mm,
used
wow.
it then. I used it when I went to court against the guy. I've used it when I've had like when I had to tell my parents individually, they are not together. So I had to tell my mom and my dad that I was abused by a man they know. Like I used her then because that's not an easy conversation to hold because I know I'm gonna break your heart now.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Let me just share that. Yeah, exactly. So in difficult conversations is
Hmm.
where I used her. Doing public speaking events, I've used her if I get a little nervous about being on stage or if I'm nervous about like I just pitched my book to a publishing house. I'm like, oh my God, what is I'm gonna
Yeah.
pitch it. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Like I use her for the big things where
Right.
I can have this human experience of fear and anxiety where
Hmm.
my human is like, oh no.
Yeah. Help.
Exactly. Then I tap into her and
Mhm.
like I have this whole framework of teaching it, but like I tap into her. For me, it works best to journal on like how would my next level self, how would she show up for this conversation? Then I journal it out as if it's already happened. So I use past tense and I wrote, she said this and it went really well and they responded so well and na 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 na. And then I sit and I visualize it
Mhm.
and then I throw myself a dance party and I put on like my badass playlist, which is just like energy. And that way I put on I have this activation item. So I
Mhm.
have an item that I put on that nobody knows it's her item, that I put that on and then I am her. And then I get to
Mm.
walk life like that.
I love that you have an item that
Mm.
that makes it so tangible.
Yeah. And then the trick is you buy a new item. You don't take your favorite earrings and then, oh, these earrings, they are my next level self earrings. Like, no, it has to be an item that only is used when you use her. Otherwise,
Mhm.
they lose their magic. Just like if you have a lucky necklace you used for the exams in high school, you know, one of
Mhm.
those. So buy a new item and then let it be an item people won't like think about.
Mm.
So
Right.
I could definitely say, look, so my item is, I don't have any items here, but like it could be a hat, but like people would notice if I was wearing a hat for a difficult conversation inside a Sunday night.
Right.
Take something simple, like maybe you want to see this hair clip is my next level self hair clip. So now, boom, there she is. Tac.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Nobody would know that. So
Mm.
like it's your little secret, whichever item that you choose.
Mm. And it's also like the intention and the energy you almost like put into that item.
Exactly.
Mm. I love that. Good idea. I will start doing that too. Now need an item to buy. A good excuse, right, to buy something new.
It is. It is. It's always really fun to find the item as well.
Yeah. Well, my last question is also always the same, and that is when do you feel most divine?
When do I feel most divine? Mm, that's such a good question and such a hard
Thank
answer.
you.
Like, so because what I'm getting is like I feel most connected to divine in like that for me is in my bedroom at night when I sit and I meditate or pray or journal. I just sit in stillness and I connect to source and spirit. That's where I feel most connected to
Mhm.
spirit. But when I feel most divine on my inside, like at my human,
Mhm.
I think that's when I'm all dressed up in something that I love to wear.
Mhm.
So when I've taken myself the time to decorate myself in a way that makes me feel really good.
Mhm.
And I'm just out with my favorite humans. So like being surrounded by love and feeling decorated by myself. Like,
Mhm.
RuPaul,
Mhm.
my bestie here.
Right.
RuPaul has this saying like, oh, I love my body. I'm gonna decorate it.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, I'm gonna decorate my body because I love it, and gonna go surround myself with my favorite humans. I think that's when I feel the most divine in my human, and then most connected to source is
Mhm.
in a deep meditative state.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing your words of wisdom with us.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.